Hello everyone, welcome to Financial Success. Thank you to all the new subscribers that have subscribed and have been supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. I also appreciate you all hitting the like button on the videos. It really helps me grow. And so before we get started, I would like to mention this. On Rakuten, there is a deal going on for Betterment. If you open up an account and put in $1 or $10, depending on the account, you will receive $127.50 in cash back. And if you're not familiar with Rakuten, they are a cashback company for online purchases, and so there's many different percentages based on the store that you're shopping at, and then once you rack up a certain amount of dollars, they will pay you that amount in a cash in the mail after a couple months. And so today they have a deal going on for Betterment, opening up an account. And so if you open up the account through Rakuten, you must be in Rakuten and then hit the Shop Now button for it to acknowledge that. But you can open up a checking account product and put in $1 and then you will get $127.50 back, or you can open up a cash reserve or investing product account and then fund it with $10 and you will also receive that $127.50 back. So it's an easy way to make money by opening up a Rakuten account and then opening up a Betterment account through Rakuten by selecting the Shop Now button. So if you do not have a Rakuten account, I will use my link below, and so if you want to go through that, I would really appreciate it. And so let's get into it. Today, the stock that I would like to talk about is Comsovereign. The ticker symbol for that is COMS. And as you can see on Friday, they were trading down about 5%, and then they ended up about 7% after hours. And so I think the reasoning for that is they did have a public share offering, which usually drops the price, and then the share offering did close on Friday afternoon. And then it was also announced that the CEO purchased more shares for the company. And so I think that's a positive sign, and that is why it went up 7%. And so I think there's a lot of potential for this company in the next coming few weeks, and so you should definitely check it out. I'm also not a financial advisor, and so I advise that you please do your own research. And so let's look into Comsovereign and what they do. They are a networking and 5G company, and so they are working on developing a communications and technology for the 5G network or 5G and many different things. There's a lot that goes into this space to support autonomous vehicles or even maybe drones flying. So I think there's a lot of things where this network is going to be very important for the future. We have to have a strong network. The connection can't drop when you're driving the car or when the drone's flying to deliver a package. It has to have a strong connectivity. And so I think this is going to be very important. And so the company have acquired 7 or 8 different companies to develop their technology portfolio, and so many of those companies range from communications, engineering, hardware, drone companies, battery backup, and network providers. And so I think with all those, they can create an end-to-end solution. They almost have their own supply chain all developed within inside of them, so they can develop these products internally, and they're all developed in the United States. And so I'd like to take a look at the press release, some of the news that they have released in the past few weeks. So on January 21st, they have announced the NASDAQ listing and a pricing of $16 million public offering. And so that closed on January 27th. They have also acquired Fastback Networks on February 1st. And so they're still acquiring many different companies, which I think is a positive sign. And then on February 22nd, they have acquired a $140,000 square foot manufacturing facility to ramp up US-based 5G radio production. And so with this, I definitely think that they either got some type of contract. Seems like a lot is going on here. They have acquired this Fastback company, then they have acquired a huge production facility. And so it seems like there's something positive to come, especially with all the share offerings they have had as well. And so they had just finished up another share offering on February 10th for $24 million, and that closed on Friday at $27.6 million of shares sold. And so they got a lot of positive news, and especially in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and so that's very good. So I'd like to take a look at the summary here that they have. As I mentioned before, they are a US end-to-end LTE and 5G network provider. And there's a couple things I'd like to point out here. They have a high value of intellectual property. And so they have a lot of patents. I think with all these different companies, they have roughly 130 different patents that they have. And so that's very good. They have a lot of technology they have developed. They also have their first full 5G system delivered in December of 2020 and more POs. And so I think this is a reason why they have acquired that manufacturing facility. I think they are growing very quickly. Also, they have a projected revenue of $119 million for 2021. The market cap for this company is currently around $300 million. And so that is substantial growth for the company. That's almost 40% of the current value of the company. And so if they can get to $119 million in 2021, I think they'll be growing very quickly. And so something else that I'd like to point out as well that could be very beneficial to them is this article here. This is back from December of 2020 that the FCC has ordered to rip and replace Chinese 5G gear as it will confront Biden. And so the FCC estimates it will cost $1.6 billion to replace the ZTE and Huawei equipment. And so they are working on replacing any of the 5G or 4G equipment from these Chinese suppliers with US-made equipment. And so I think this is something that is a good opportunity for COMS. And so I'd like to take a look at this article on Comsovereign's website. They are stating that they have the tools needed for rip and replace that the FCC is talking about, and they are still waiting on approval for that and funds from Joe Biden. And so if he does approve that, they will decide who they're going to be putting in charge to replace that equipment, whether that's Comsovereign or a different company. I am not sure yet, but I definitely think that is good potential for Comsovereign. And so they are stating here that they are supporting the government's programs to create a secure national telecommunications infrastructure by making sure we can quickly and easily substitute our US-based alternatives to replace the banned equipment. And so they're stating that they have the equipment made in the US to replace the Chinese equipment. And so that's very good. They have been working with them to make sure that as a contributor to that list, an opportunity can be replaced out. What it comes down to is working with those service providers who had equipment in place to essentially do that and help them with the process of replacement. It is essentially a submission of a proposal to the government to solicit their funds to do the replacement. And so here Comsovereign is explaining that they are able to replace that equipment, and they are now positioned to be the go-to single source supplier for enterprises in need of replacement equipment for 4G, 5G, and beyond. And so they are all US based. All the companies they have acquired is going to be produced, I think, down in Austin, Texas. And so this company has a lot of potential. And so if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button and also subscribe if you have not done that yet. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.